Ugh. Ugh. Think. Okay, I definitely moved too quick. Let me adjust that. Ooh. Oh god, which is that on? Gamer singular. There we go. I think it's scale the sound. Ooh. Turn that off. Seal. Okay, so I think it's the threshold. Oh, so the ceiling is how loud. Okay, so I kind of want to just I want to immediately jump up. I've been doing a lot of OBS tweaking today. I set up a Spotify thing. You guys can see it in the top left. It's possible I might do more OBS work during the stream. I'm going to be testing different time slots to stream at. I can probably find what Twitch recommends, but I want to see what time slot works best for me to stream non-VR content, you know? I'm not sure what the best sort of like time slot for that would be with the content I do. I actually got my fucking wireless charger for my phone so I can have chat up.
Hey, Eric just resubscribed for
Thank
6
you.
months. Gamers.
KL Eric, Cleric. I didn't know it would pronounce it that. That's really funny. the TTS pronounced it that way. Because I don't really see why it would. Let me pull out chat on my phone. I don't have to prop my phone up again because I got the wireless standing charger. I found it beside my bed. And it's charging it, so my phone won't die in the middle of stream like it almost did every single other stream I've done. So. What? Hydra. What is that clip? All right. So I am doing Unity map dev work, very basic shit. Not like right now I'm in Blender. I'm swapping between the two. I have also set up an automatic macro thing using Advanced Scene Switcher plugin. So now when I swap between Blender and Unity, it'll auto swap the scenes, so I don't have to do any fucking swapping, which is actually fantastic for me. Sorry, I'm putting an ice cube in my mouth. So, back over here. This is where we're currently at. I found these fucking phenomenal textures. I did pay for them from a itch.io link, so I can use them for commercial usage as well. There's a ton of great textures in here. I'm probably going to use these for all my map stuff. It's just diffuse textures, so there's no like normal maps or specular, but I know how to make those, so I'm not worried about it. If I want them, I will just make them. But this is a work in progress of my map I'm working on, which I will pull up the Unity side here, which it should automatically swap once it loads. It didn't swap. The one time, now that I'm actually streaming, it didn't fucking swap. There we go. It did it after I alt-tabbed in and out. I just have to remember to check it. That kind of defeats the point. God, I wish I had a second monitor. Maybe I'll start a fucking goal, get a second monitor going. I should probably focus on things like survival first, though. So, this is the That's what I was gonna do. I was gonna shrink this window a little bit. Hold on. Transform. Let's do edit transform. That's not what I fucking meant to do. Transform, edit transform. Center. There we go. Perfect. So this is a work in progress. There we go. A work in progress adventure map, or like a roleplay map, fantasy magipunk setting, basically. I think I got all of the layout done that I wanted, like of the general city layout. I actually have to adjust some of this back, I think, now that I've gotten more of this laid out. What's that one? What's that one doing? Oh, it's behind. Okay. It's a little better. The idea again is that this is the city, and there's going to be another city over here. So it'll be these two like factions. And I feel like this layout works pretty well. I don't have any of the textures in here yet, but I will. I was actually going to work on that now. I was going to try and get some of them in here. I keep changing what I'm using, but let me just get... I definitely am using concrete detail a lot. So this will be concrete detail. And this uses texture... Oh god, which is it? Yeah, there's a light and a dark version. Okay. Probably the dark version. Well, no, shit, I kind of like the light version better. I'll go light for now. I can always change it. Main color. Actually, I want to name it City. No, we'll just throw this out here. We'll just name it Matt Con Deet. Excuse me? Mercia, yeah, that's a good idea. I'll have to see what textures I end up using for the buildings. Oh, fuck yeah, dude. Oh, look at that. Oh, yeah. Again, everything's going to be very flat right now because I don't have any specular or anything set up on these. But my plan is to take these textures, put them through Materialize, make a specular, and make a normal map for everything that needs it when I'm done. I essentially need to RTX remaster my own fucking map. Let me pull up Materialize right now, actually. Materialize. Wonder what that would look like. current window. This is the one I meant to do. There we go. Materialize. Okay. So if I were to pull in concrete detail, let's see what I can make from this. Also, every texture is really low res. It's only 256 by 256. So VRAM usage on my map is going to be fucking phenomenal. Let me tell you that much. Fuse map, we'll paste in the texture. There we go. Now we can create a height map, theoretically. We can probably just do it straight, like details, presets. Let's see, default. Put this height map, and then let's show full material. Let's do it as a use that one. How do I change it to be a there it is. A cylinder is what I like. Yeah, look at that. Probably not the height map. We will do let's create a normal map. What are we creating it from? It might be being created from. Ooh, okay, it's being created from that. Okay. Let's try making the metallic map now. What is that? What are you doing? Oh my god. Whoa. I don't really know where that's details all coming from. Is it just adding that? Interesting. Oh, I can kind of see it. Oh, I think. Am I crazy? I might be. No, I'm insane. There's nothing there. It definitely looks like it's stealing something. Hi, boy. I'm struggling here with this program a little bit. I've used it before. I don't know what an appropriate like amount of. Okay, that feels too metal to me. I feel like we want. Oh, does it have to do with the hue? Oh, I see. Okay. Let's try making a smooth this map. I guess I'll just leave that as it is. I'm working on Not Kane, Magipunk, legally distinct Magipunk roleplay map. Here, I'll pull back up to. Here, I'll pull back up in a second. Let me see if I can I make a normal map from that? No, I can't. Okay. I might have to manually draw this fucking height map. Which is fine, because it's really just create some crevices, right? I've done it before. It's like, clearly this is a little higher than these edges there. This is a little higher than those edges there. Yeah. Let me see if I can fuck with this shit. So that needs to be up. Can I get rid of the white? Have a good day at work. Uh, let me. See, it's creating like weird bumps like that. So let me even see if I can make a normal map from this at all. Looks like it's gonna be hard because it just ends up so bumpy. Oh. Yeah, that's not the worst. Hey, Bun Bun. And this AO map doesn't look half bad. Yeah, honestly, for this AO map actually looks surprisingly good. What the fuck? Damn. Can I just export these all? I'm just trying to make some. I'm testing out making. So I bought a pack of low res but really fucking great, like 810 textures, handmade from what I understand, to use for map making. But they don't have any maps that aren't diffuse maps. So none of these ones like height or well, normally you would have a normal map, metallic smoothness, ambient occlusion map, like shadow map, basically. None of those are made, so I'm using a program that sort of automates the process. And it's not the worst looking, especially on like a plane. So I probably wouldn't have the parallax displacement, so it'd probably just be that. And that looks pretty good. I think the only one I want to change is I feel like the metallic map is still way too metallic. I think that still feels very metallic. Hold on. What did I fuck up? Is it supposed to be the other way? No. It's fine then. I'm gonna go down. We'll just do that. And then the smoothest map. We'll do that and then there we oh, that's better. Yeah, that's like perfect. Okay. Cool. Let me hit save on some of these and see what it does. This is the worst folder structure system in the world. Okay, where the fuck am I saving these? Can I even paste can I paste a folder in here? Of course I can't. So I need to get them to fucking, where is this? Y Unity. Okay, so I need to get these to my Y drive. How do I, okay, drive, Y, Unity, ignore Nicotina. From there I need to go to General Map Projects 2024, Assets, not Kane. I want God, there's so much shit in here. Not KNRP. And this one, it's, I mean, it's, first of all, we're just going to immediately add this to our favorites just so we don't lose this folder. Where did it go? Oh, paste directory. Okay, so I can't just go straight to there. So let me go to not Kane here. And then the name of it, of this texture specifically is Concrete Generic 1C. Concrete Generic 1C. And what am I saying? Which texture am I? Norm map. So 1C norm. And saved. Okay, cool. So now we can do that for, I don't think I need the height map. I feel like that's unnecessary for what I'm doing. But you know what? We'll fuck around. I'll save it anyway. We'll save the metallic. Oh, it's saving them as BMP files? Oh, you're an evil program. You're an evil program, aren't you? Oh, and you fucking had your wine. Oh, you're an evil little program, aren't you? Pretty sure it's correct now. That looks better to me. Compared to, well, yeah, I think, let me save it again as fucking there. And then this would be save as, oh, smoothness map organize. There's no quick save. Save? Yeah. Smooth. And then save AO as, yeah. And I think I will save. Can I save this project? I'm gonna save this project. I'll just save it. Sure, I'll save it in my fucking Unity folder. Why not? That's concrete, baby. Strida, no, concrete materialize. And if I go back into here, let's turn off this. So we go back in here now. What is this fucking orchestral music it gave me for that? Like that was Song of the Four. Okay, yeah, because I have I can actually know what song's playing on the fucking stream now, which is great. All right, cool. Let's Let's go in here now and let's start applying some shit. So we're gonna put the normal map in first, I think. Fix now. Okay. Yeah, making... Ooh, that's interesting. I feel like it's too much. We probably do a 0.5 on it, but... Yeah, the difference, like, material... I think, like, having maps on this stuff is gonna be wild. It might just be a case of making custom ones later if these don't look as good as I want them to look. So what? These textures are 256, right? Yeah. So we're gonna repack a texture, 256. Oh, let me try to remember what is the default. So green is AO, smooth is A. Yeah, that's wrong. So we're gonna do detail is A, blue is AO, green is smooth, red is metallic. So we're gonna throw red, green, and then height, yeah, blue, pack, red, green, blue would be... Oh, so when you save it like that, okay, I see. So it just saves them all. Then I would have to rename them. I see. Okay. Feels like the AO does so little. All right. I think that feels pretty good comparatively to like what it would look like, which would, without that texture, it would probably be... Let's take that off for a minute and we'll see. So I'd probably just have to do it like that without the texture on there. And then with it, it looks like... That makes so little difference. Okay, hold on. I'm going to actually edit this in Photoshop, I think. Let me, you guys won't see this. I'm just going to make some quick edits and see if I need to like change some values around until I get something that looks good. Let's try making much more contrast between the metallic. Because I can adjust these on the materialize afterwards if it helps. That didn't seem to do anything. Okay, yeah, so we'll do that anyway, even though I don't think it makes a fucking difference. And then I will curve up the... Yeah, hi Winston. Go fucking crash. I made the mistake of not sleeping well for a couple nights, and then I slept really early. Okay, so I am gonna boost the... Who is calling me? I've been getting spam calls every day. Like, it's my phone's fucked. I'm gonna need a new number. I will adjust this then. And let's see. Again, you guys don't see this, I know, so just bear with me. I think that's a little bit better. So let me save this now as the new one. So let me save you as finish move this. So let me hit save, and then let me edit this one too and directly immaterialize again. Let's set it to... do that. So that is the metallic. Now I should have a bit more of a... Oh god, there's a bunch of textures in here. 1C, generic 1C. This would be smoothness, and then this would be metallic. I'll just delete these ones so I don't get confused. Come on, baby. Come on, delete. Oh, I know you don't like it when I hit delete. I know you're hold on busy for 25 seconds, but still, please. Yeah, there seems to be just a bloat problem with Unity, where the more shit you have, the I just realized chat window's probably way too big for what I have going on. I'll bring it back down to where it basically the same thing as the voice box range. There we go. There's the Spotify bot thing. There we go. So I'm gonna back this one up just in case. I'm gonna make a duplicate, and then I'm gonna hit repack texture, and we're going to go nothing in the alpha slot. And then we're gonna throw in green, red, blue. So the difference is, okay, yeah. There we go. That's pretty good. So theoretically, and again, I think the normal map is nice. I don't think it needs to be that strong. I think I can even go a little like point free. And I think it still helps a lot. Again, comparatively to like what I would have had before, which would have been none of that and none of that, right? I could turn on is it parallax? Like you get step effects. layered material is always fun. I could make layered materials later, and that would let me like overlay like different shit on top. Yeah, I think this is right. So let's try. Let me try throwing the height map on here. Ooh. That is weird. Oh, I said it the 64 steps. Oh, that's sick. Oh shit. Okay, so it changes the scale based on the angle. Oh shit. So that means when you look at it from a weird angle, oh shit, that solves the problem. The only problem I ever had with parallax was that it looks weird from certain angles. But this just completely okay. It does a weird another weird thing where okay, well, that's fine. Yeah, the height map's pretty fucked. I would probably need to go in and just make one. I've done that before. Just by drawing fucking cubes and shit. But I don't think we need it. And well, I mean, like even just like this, that's pretty fucking good. That's so much depth to these grooves, yeah. But let's keep in mind, since I am modeling all this, I could just, if I was insane enough, I could just model these grooves in. It wouldn't be too much work, but I would have to know for a fact that I'm definitively keeping the grooves, right? I think for right now, we will take it off and not use parallax for the sake of performance, because it's not good for performance, I should say. It should be used very minimally, and it's never very good in VR. But I feel like this texture works really well for the road. I wasn't sure at first. And if I do a layered thing, I might be able to get like a layer of... Let me try the layered. Let me try the layered, standard layered. I am very curious. What is BK standard layered? Oh. Standard layered. Okay. I see. So none of the layers have anything in them right now. Okay. Let me just make a duplicate of the material, actually, and then I'll do it. When I can, if I can avoid parallax, I will, and I'll just add the depth to the actual geometry. I think my goal with this map right now is I'm going to focus on making this like fantasy inner city. The idea is that this is obviously not the entire city. This is just the entrance to the city. The roleplay will take place in the entrance to the city. So it'll have all of this city behind it. I'm not sure, probably not this cube. Because I realized that if I make the, oh, that was a terrain. If I make it too big or too wide, the bridge doesn't really make sense. If the city extends out this far, then why the fuck did they build a bridge and not just like travel the land, you know? Why would they do that? Why would they build a bridge over the water? So I might actually just make the ocean travel across this entire area to make the bridge make more sense. I'm not sure yet. I'm trying to justify in character why they would have a big ass bridge here, other than aesthetically it's what I want. The other another idea that was that this area could be populated by some fucking like beasts. So going over here is just dangerous. But I mean, I could just make all of this water and make it so it's like there's a big water river running through here, the entire thing. I'm not sure yet. Any of this layout can change still. Yeah, I feel like I need to split the areas more. I do still want it to be somewhat traversable if somebody decided to go well, okay, the idea I have is that there's going to be a sewer system that would lead out to all the way over here, basically, right? Like they pump it out, they dump it out over here. This would be the harbor for both technically. Plot-wise, this is the main city. And I believe what I currently have written for this, because I might still change this, but what I currently have written is that this was an outpost. This was their harbor, and it was also an outpost where they were expanding and building or something along those lines, right? Some sort of outpost. When people got exiled from the city, or criminals and stuff that just like escaped the city, instead of leaving because they would die out there, they ended up taking over this abandoned outpost and turned it into their own city. So the factions are between the people in the city here and the people on the outskirts in a outpost, basically, they have now adapted and built their own little landscape and walls and shit. And the harbor would be assumedly originally a part of this place. And I'm probably going to give them their own harbor as well, though. Basically, a bunch of fuckers have gone across the river and said, we want to be our own people. And they're like, fuck off. Stay on your side of the river then. But this is the this is the harbor, so all of the supplies come in through here. So that means they still need to cross to get there. And I'm probably going to have the entirety of this area be like, it's still part of the city. It's just an extension of the city. But it's at a point where the people are like, the guards and stuff are like, yeah, we can't maintain that. We have our own. We're going to focus on the walls and in the walls. I also keep making these walls bigger because I'm like, I keep looking at like the height from up here and I'm like, damn, I feel like I want to have a really cool visual of being up here. Let me turn on the fog. Yeah. Very nice. Okay. So that's one material done. Let me just start making some of the others I have in here right now, which would be... All right, I was going to do the... Ooh. Layered shit. So let me do that. So layer one will be the same. It'll be masks, normal map. Uses a color mask. Interesting. Vertex color, we'll do a texture, and I'll do a noise map. Just do this for now. Ooh, oh, I see. Very cool. Very, very poggers. Look at that. Look at that, everyone. Look at that noise map. I don't think I can change... Okay, so if I did that, and then if I did this as black, right, and then I did Probably put the actual texture on it. It would be this bitch. That's weird. All right, red, blue, detail is alpha, green. There we go. Boy, Unity likes to freeze when you have this much shit in a project. This is a huge. This is like all of my map assets that I've collected over the years. No, it doesn't look like I can change the tiling of this one, unfortunately. I wish it had Scholastic. I think it's Scholastic sampling. It might just be better I do Vertex colors. I don't have any right now. I think for the time being, I guess we just got to stick with it. I really just wanted a way to quickly add like some fucking I mean, is there any other settings in here? I just wanted the way to add like some detail maps to it, basically. But we will just keep it as it is for now. And if I can find a way to add like cracks and shit down the line, I will. Like just natively to it, I suppose. Let me go to here and we will just throw this one back in here. And this one I will make this one. So in Blender here we have brick. Matt Con brick. This one will be brick. And I will put it over. So that one's brick. Let me do. So that first one's detail. I need plane. I don't think I'm using plane at all right now though. But I do have just a plain one. Oh shit, I didn't even realize it's the same fucking same texture. That's really funny. I just scaled the exact same. That's great. Yeah, a lot of the same texture maps this guy used, which is super smart. Doesn't look like I have anything that is that one right now. Or wait, I think this is using it. This is using concrete plane. Okay. So plane. And then we will make this one. I'll just call it siding. So that should be all of them I have in here now. So we'll do brick to brick, plane to, oh, I forgot hex. Hexagon. Okay. Very pog. The entire fucking city's gone. All right. Let me go in here now and I will go to brick. Let's I think it was called precast. Yeah, it should be this one. So brick is this one. I believe. Well, hold on. That's not right. It's not that one. This is not for Rosewood. No, this is a personal project. Although, guys, welcome to fucking Palvindor. It's hell. No, this is for my own project that I'm working on. Let me take these out and this out. This one will be hex.
Timeless just resubscribed for 12
Thank you,
months.
Timeless.
Kaslan Malik.
Welcome. Let's do. So I got brick texture on there. Siding is, let's see. Oh, I'm using 1B in here. Should I be using 1A? I think it's better. Oh god, let me see which one tiles better. Definitely 1B. It's lower res, of course, but it tiles better, so we'll do 1B. And then plane is, oh wait, I didn't do Did I finish this? Did I do siding? I did. Okay. Did I? I guess so. Yeah. I'm going crazy. Apologies. Plane would be. Wait, what? Oh, oh, yeah. Sure. I feel like that's plain. Let me just. I feel like I could just use detail for that and just shrink it a little bit. Eh, it's fine. Because that just means I can tile it better without having to worry about seams and stuff because it's kind of so generic. Unless I were to go with this one without the lines. That might be the route because then there's less detail to worry about. Yeah, I think I'll do that. Just makes it a little more boring, but I can always add more detail in later on the model, you know? Should be fine. I don't know how these are going to look yet, except for the fact that I'm planning on these first of all being lights. So these will be lit up, emissive. You know what? Let me do that now. I'm going to make a first of all, we'll just make a new material there and then emissive. We'll just name it emissive. We'll just name it EM for now. These are all pretty optimized in how I made them, as in this is selecting all of those faces just by selecting 2 faces, which is nice. EM, and we will just make this. I'll make it like an orange. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make a 4x4 texture sheet of like 4 types of emissive textures I can use. One for like windows, one for like glass, like just like stuff like this. I think I'll just do that myself unless I can find one in this pack. I think it'll look nice. And then I can use that all over the city of like, it's not just lit up and flat. It'll actually have like some definition and some light and some like texture to it. Or like frayed, like darker around the edges type of shit. My God, I actually got color from the fucking export. Sweet. All right. I forgot you can just do that. Yeah, I can just fucking control D that. Okay. I'm not gonna do that though, because I am going to copy plane here, throw that on there, take the texture off. Where's emission in here? Where are you? That music was not helping me focus. I've learned that if I minimize it, it leaves Blender. I mean, it leaves OBS. That makes sense. Where is mission? There it is. Where were you? Oh, it's just right there. Duh. If I go full dark. Yeah, it'll still be lit. Oh shit, that looks beautiful. Damn. Yeah, Hydra. I'm sorry, I was blind there. I could not see it. I've been having trouble finding things like that, like just in front of me. This looks pretty. Okay, cool. And yeah, when I was making this bridge, I realized that it kind of looked like people holding hands, which I think will fit the sort of fucked up vibe I'm going for of like a unity bridge. There's a lot of like meaning I could throw into the lore for that. It's like background shit that probably won't matter. I'm gonna go back into materialize and I'm gonna make we're gonna make, let's see, the hexagons, I think. That's what I'm probably gonna use a lot. The hexagons and bricks. Is this texture not 256? No, it is. What? I'm just crazy. I'm just fucking insane. Dude, those mind golems gonna. I drank a cup of coffee this morning. They're gonna get me. Bro. Trying to get rid of those little white lines. I don't think I can though. Should be good. We go. That's completely changed from something I did. Let's keep how it was before. And I think what I can do now is I've realized I can save project. I can change it to not be a fucking BMP. Thank God. I don't know. I didn't see that before. A bump file. Boom, 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 bump. A bump, bump, bump. Let's save project and we'll name it. Not concrete material. Con. What do they name the material? Con hex. I think if I do that, it's going to save all of the textures as well. Yeah, it does. Okay. Cool. So I should be able to just start throwing those in there now. So we're going to do masks, repack. We're going to do AO in blue, I believe. Yeah. Metallic in red. Moving this in green. 256. Masks packed. That is interesting looking. Just tone that down a little bit and we're good. Tone that up a little bit. Damn. 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 Oh, and then our map. Ooh. Ooh. Well, that's fancy. This one we can turn up to like 0.6. Damn. It's not like perfectly smooth, but maybe that kind of works in its favor a little bit. This might be another case if I make another one later to like make them all the same exact height. Let me go back to here quick and you just see an equal in this materializing if there's a way I can edit that. Nah, I don't think there is. That's fine. I should probably focus more on the map layout building than setting up the materials. As much as I do enjoy setting up the materials. It is probably my favorite part about map making is setting up the fucking materials. Not map making, model making in general. Just I love working with materials. I love making things shine, look good. I'm just gonna do another one. Hold on. I did that one. I want to do bricks now. Let me pull up bricks. Let me actually just get the that in here first. That's not the right texture. Is it? No. Hold on. How do they? What? How do I do that? I pulled in the wrong texture. How did I even manage that? There we go. So let's do that and let's go to height map. We will preview, we will create. See, we need to just reset this, I think, first. We want details, but we don't want the light aspect is the hard part. I'm not sure how we can, maybe it's in the bias? No. We don't want anything beyond that certain amount. Hmm. Oh. That'll do. I feel like. I feel like this is like the opposite of what it should be. Can I invert it? Maybe not. I think I'll leave it at that for this part of it after I put these on. Then I'll go back to actually modeling. Bro? There we go. A little shinier at least. All right. That's some materials done. Whatever. I can go back and work on that more later. That doesn't really matter. I'm just trying to get it to look good in the lighting and here. The part that actually matters is, of course, the everything else. The modeling, the layout. My plan is for this to be a sort of town square. And then across here is going to be like a set of, I guess you would call it an alley that would normally be used by like people entering the walls. And a way for people to sort of move unseen, I guess, as well. Ironically, I think this place would be most populated by, specifically by city guards going in and out of the walls. The peacekeepers, they're called. And by criminals wanting to be unseen. So I might actually make that area a little bigger. Just because I think it's an interesting area. I would like to kind of get a... Here, I'll just do it based on that, and then I'll move it down to match. Like, let's do 0.9 maybe? That feels a little too big. 925, yeah, we can go for that. It kind of fucks up the entire size of the central. That's still too big. We won't do that much. I'll just do like 0.975. So it's still a pretty substantial increase in terms of how much room they have. I should be able to fit some more shit here now. I'm trying to decide if I want more elevation. I could double up on a staircase. I might do that here. Why are you like this? Why are you like this? Why do you not work with the fucking mirror modifier? God, you annoy me. Shouldn't you just... Normally you work. Why don't you work right now? God. Yeah, I'm a median point, which is normally this would just work, but it's just gonna be a bitch right now. So it's fine. It's whatever, dude. It's fine. Doesn't even match up perfectly anyway. So, I don't actually need it to match up perfectly. I don't know why I'm even bothering to do that because I'm not gonna have them connect that closely. So I'm just gonna do this. And this way I can select all of this and then select all of this and move it up by an entire another level so we get way more elevation, which is what I want. How much do I actually want to move it up by? That's by 3 meters. Wait, we don't want to move this one up, right? Concerned about the faces I just selected, but we're going to ignore them for now and not think about it. See, those should not exist. Okay, there we go. I had to, well, whatever. Whatever. Oh, man. All right. So by 2.5 meters. So 2.5 meters up. Okay. Why are you like this? Okay, so you're not... That's really upsetting. That's... Oh, that's greatly upsetting. Why are... How are you... You just weren't flat. Okay. Okay, that's less upsetting now that they know what the problem was. I'm gonna move both of these this way a little bit. Let's see, what makes more sense to have... Just have fucking massive wide stairs, man. I do think the stairs need to be a little wider on each of these. Like any unity here. Okay. I could do another raise up here, maybe. I feel like I could double this again. As a matter of fact, I feel like, yeah, I feel like I'm gonna first of all, I'm gonna go back to Blender. I'm gonna move this over here. I think the ground somehow got unlevel again. I'm not sure. So it's creating some pretty good tiers to the city. The idea is that if I could take a let's see, what tool should I use for this? The idea is that town center here, right? How do I change what you draw on? Surface. Ooh. Town center, and I'm thinking like pathway that leads all the way like that. Pathway that leads all the way like that. Pathway that goes like that. And then converge here and here. There's going to be like a harbor over here-ish. So that would be an open space there. And I might put something here to sort of make it symmetrical. And then you'll have the optional paths through the, like, almost guard tunnels, the guard pathways here. I think that makes sense. Look at Unity right now. I didn't swap. This fucking macro don't do shit. Apologies. Thank you for letting me know. So I just annotated over it. So the blue line basically means this is the current planned pathways, with this being like these middle ones being like the main pathways. Probably wouldn't go as far back as I drew it. It would probably be more like, probably wouldn't be that far back. I meant it would probably be more like here. Keeping in mind, this is the size of a person. I feel like this is a pretty good setup. The idea is that you can kind of circle the map and see everything, right? Comparatively to if I go back to Unity and we're going to watch it not swap, because I know it's not going to. Damn it! Actually, did it actually swap that time? That's stupid. Um, comparatively over here, the layout's going to be more chaotic, right? To fit the sort of vibe. Where over here, it's going to be like they can sort of go like here and through this sort of tunnels. There's going to be paths through here, here, here. It's kind of like a line that you can follow to see most things, and then like little branching paths like here and here. So there's a lot of symmetry and order here, and a lot of chaos and pathways here. Anarchy versus control. I'm gonna put my phone on fucking silent. Fuck this shit. There we go. I probably need to pull up some references for some of the stuff. I've been kind of going reference free for a lot of this, and I've just been like feeling it out, you know, so it's more of my style of what architecture would be in this world. But I'm probably gonna pull up some like Gothic Victorian like kingdom references to get a sort of Gothic vibe. Because I do kind of want to lean into the because again, although it's heavily inspired by Arcane, and their sort of French architecture really shines through in Arcane. Um, I feel like to lean away from that, I might go a little bit more like English Victorian Gothic in the architecture. We'll see. I probably won't be modeling the buildings from scratch. I have some an asset pack I might pick up. I'm not sure yet, and there's also some assets that I might have on hand that I can look through. I'm kind of I'm kind of not really sure what else to do in the city layout. I feel like I have a majority of the city layout. I don't really know where else to start on this. I mean, adding more to the walls could be cool. We're definitely gonna need some stuff like a church in here. We're gonna need like a bunch of different like everything you would think you'd want in RP, right? Um, and then all of that part of the city is gonna be inaccessible. No one go over there. It's bad. Oh, there'll definitely be random potholes. Don't worry. I'll have a back rooms fucking hole in the map. Yeah, let me go back to Blender. Hmm. I feel like the walls are pretty good. My idea here on the wall is that it's going to be like, so you can stand here and sort of like, there'll be like guardrails up here. I could start adding those. Let me do that. Not that they'll like stick. Let me split this actually. It's a separate piece now. Good. More than likely, I'll probably make... What I might end up doing is, instead of keeping this like layout for the walls, I'll make wall pieces and then I'll arrange them so that way I don't have to do all of the walls, right? Like I can just do like a piece of wall here and then piece of wall with gate, and then I can just arrange them in Blender, but they all have like, that way I don't have to redo the UVs for every single one and model everything. So I'm considering the walls completely placeholder for now. And I'm trying to avoid just making shit look techie, because part of me is like, part of my like mental philosophy, I guess, for designing buildings is like, I should just add divots and holes and shit. When I start to do stuff like that, I feel like it starts to look a little techie, a little like modern. But I'm like, this is what I sort of think about. Kind of like that, actually. Might keep this. Yeah, fuck it. We're just gonna keep it. I don't care for now. For the walls, I'm not sure yet. There's a lot of textures. I'm sure one of them will work. There are some pretty fucking good textures in this pack. A lot of these like panels are kind of low res, so can I even see? No, I'm hiding them completely. Hold on. There we go. Like, I have this pack, but then I also have High Seas texture pack as well, which looks like this. And this one has some pretty nice stone ones. This one was a free one. So if I want to go for more of that fantasy vibe, I might end up using some of this stuff. Definitely stone walls, a lot of stone masonry throughout the entire map. There's also delvin textures like this. And there might be some good wall ones in here too. There's a lot of these. We're definitely probably going to use those metal pipes. Another free one. It's going to be, it's Magipunk, so again, it's not medieval, I would say. There's going to be machines, but these machines are powered by they're not powered by like computers, they're powered by tech. Almost steampunk, but instead of steam they use like a magical power source. The tech wise, I'm thinking like aesthetically. Again, I don't want it to just be Arcane's level. If you've watched Arcane, that's the vibe I'm going for, but I'm trying to differentiate enough from the aesthetic of the world. I guess fantasy techie out of the what you said would probably be the most fitting. Like I'm trying to go for like industrial revolution with a little bit of fantasy to it. They don't have engines. They have essentially an alternative that meant they never needed to invent stuff like that, right? So it's an industrial revolution, but more of a magical revolution. And we're probably about 50 to 100 years into that revolution in character when the RP will take place. So there's going to be remnants of a time before that technology was commonplace. But like a forklift could exist. It would just be a magically powered forklift, right? And it would look different. There's no cars. I don't think. I guess it doesn't really matter. There might be cars. I don't think it really matters. The city is based around foot traffic. But this is also like clearly that wagons could go on and off this bridge, right? Carts, etc., etc. If you did, you could just take this ramp straight up. Probably have a big gate here. You know what? I might actually duplicate this. Yeah. I think I'm gonna duplicate this wall section here. So I'm gonna first of all shrink this a little. Well, no, I'm gonna make this bigger. So that way it can encompass both. Then I can create like a proper like entrance zone. There we go. Yeah, okay. I like that. I do think that this might need to be brought in a little bit. Wrong one. Well, maybe not. I don't know. I'm trying to get like... oh, fuck. That should be steep enough where you could, yeah. Like okay. The more I look at it, I'm like, I really want more height. I feel like this isn't high enough. I feel like I'm gonna make this higher right now. I want this doubled in height. Let me see how high is this exactly. So I think it's exactly 2.5 up, right? So every layer is 2.5 meters. So I do that. And then I do that. And then I do that. Looks like it's not exactly 2.5 up. So this is whatever. Whatever. I'm half tempted to raise these up as well now. I mean, yeah, I could. So there's more of that elevated terrain feel. I don't really know what's going to be in each place yet. Again, I know I want a harbor here, so this the wall on this side is just not going to exist, right? Like this is going to be a big open space. Well, the walls still have to exist, I guess. I'll have to plot out how to fit the how I want to do the Sky Harbor. I could also do the Sky Harbor on this side, depending on what is a better, more dramatic. Well, if we go back to Unity here. What is a more dramatic view? Like, let's say the Sky Harbor's here, then we have this view here, right? And if it's over here, we have this view here. What is more visually important? Is it okay? Let me ask this: like thematically, and it's more of a rhetorical question to myself. What is more important that we see? Like, say a ship came in from the sky to the Sky Harbor. Is it better they come in over the dunes or come in over the water? I am going to make a strong point about probably. You know what? Yeah, I think over the dunes. Oh, fuck yeah. I could add more dunes on this side too, like land here. I might just do that. Because one thing I'm going to emphasize in the RP because of one of the races I put in. Oh, I've built up a lot in the world, which is what I'm about to get into. I not as much as I could have yet, but I'm still working on it. One of the races I've put into this world are kind of elves, kind of not. They're called Furtheners. That's not their actual name. That's the name given to them by the people here because humans are intolerant people innately, and instead of learning the name of their race and their language, they called them the people from far away, the Furtheners. They are essentially elves. Let me pull out my doc on them. Actually, I have them in the. Where are you? Here we go. Legally distinct Magipunk RP. So. Oh yeah, I can read some of this lore to you guys too. The Furtheners from the Farlands. Furtheners, primarily from the far land across the sea and considered their own race there, but viewed the same as any other mutant in No Magic City. Recognizable by long pointed ears, slender, lanky bodies and limbs, bright, large eyes with a white pupil, striped patterns on their skin, and the deepness of their skin closer in hue to teal and green. Due to the low chance of survival traveling from the far lands to No Magic City, almost all Furtheners within No Magic City have lived here for generations and have never actually been to their homeland. So essentially, if anyone's playing a Furthener, they're playing like a third generation immigrant who has never been to their homeland, but that'll probably be a plot point. I imagine a lot of them will be like, we want to go home. because there's no way to get home right now, right? The storms, basically boats traveling across the ocean never come back. They almost always suffer from the storms and tropical. The ocean in this world is going to be fucking crazy. So nobody likes to travel across it. You don't usually come back if you go too far out. And there's just heavy storms. So none of the Furtheners are actually going to know anything about their homeland. Yeah, they're sea gnomes. There's just fucking goddamn sea gnomes. So we're doing yeah, that's true. So maybe putting it over here is a better idea. And I could put a regular ocean harbor here if I wanted to have another one. That is one of a few races I have. I have also written some god lore. There is only going to be 3 gods in this RP so far. I'm not planning on having any. I'm going to keep the god lore simple. First of all, within this RP, the gods will not commune or interact with the player characters in any meaningful way. As the gods are, you can assume the gods in this RP are as active as the gods in our real life. If they're there, the only reason you believe in them is because you have faith, right? They don't actually show up. They don't smite you. They don't do anything. It's not like some settings. The gods are a part of religion, and that is their extent. Mainly just because I don't want to do God RP anymore. Gods are too much of a MacGuffin in roleplay, and just in story settings. I think overall, I think as soon as you can interact with the literal creators and overseers of a world, the stakes dramatically change. And I want this to be a person to person setting. Minus from the castle who worked inside, and everyone else is outside. The outer wall generally comes up from the will be the innermost part, the outer part, and the castle bridge. Yeah. So let me go over the city lore. Within No Magic City, the city is controlled by a group called the Hand. The Hand is the uppermost class, and at the top of it is like the council of actual like leaders, right? I don't have their full lore figured out of how many people will be actually in control, but the Hand is like the upper part, and these are the fingers of the Hand, and at each of these tips is someone powerful, right? Fucking Pokemon gym style. Get to the top and fight them, I guess. The idea is that this would probably be the tip top of the city. The most powerful person or the most powerful people in the top would commune here. In this tower, each of these are going to be separate towers with different people in them. So the city is run by a council of people who are part of this Hand. Let's see what it says. Top of the food chain in No Magic City, who reside high off the ground in cloud-level buildings called the Fingers, housing the richest and most powerful, though primarily consisting of humans. Occasionally, they have private automaton servants. Though it is not impossible for mutants to be on this upper food chain, it is incredibly rare. The Hand. So that's the Hand. Within the city is going to be the People's Peacekeepers, those who defend the city as its patrolling police force, primarily working within and around the walls. The current plan I have is that basically there's going to be an implied fuck ton of Peacekeepers, and then there's going to be like a group of but they're like spread throughout the city, right? And the idea is that we will see one, like for player characters, in the roleplay sense, right? Although I plan on using more than just roleplay or for this like setting I'm making. for the roleplay aspect of it, only one of the frontmost group of peacekeepers, the gate peacekeepers, the central group, right, of like 5 or 6 or however many we have in the cast, will be the ones on screen. Any other peacekeepers will just be NPCs. So we'll have some level of the guards be player characters, and the rest of them will be like generic peacekeepers. Say, maybe, yeah, kinda, if I'm thinking of it correctly. So that'll be fun. Over here, we're gonna have the Vermilion Rebellion. Will be the rebellion force, right? And the reason we're not having a lot of the peacekeepers be player characters, because although it's faction roleplay, my intention is that for all of the PvP to be PvE, right? If the rebellion needs to go fight some guards and shit, those guards are going to be NPCs and not the player character ones, hopefully. We got the Vermilion Rebellion there. The gods, that's what I was going to say. So I have, yeah, it's not a PvP RP. Even though it's going to be like faction v faction, the idea is that anytime there's actual fighting involved, it'll be NPCs on either side. NPCs from the rebellion fighting player characters, or and NPCs from the peacekeepers fighting the rebellion player characters, right? So the peacekeeper and the rebellion PCs, unless they want to duke it out and they plan it, they will never be forced to duke it out, would be my ideal circumstance. Because it's going to be, there's a heavily implied amount of like them that just aren't usually seen. The gods are Cassis, the god of order, light, and control. The god primarily worshipped within No Magic City, and the twin god to Phonaris. And then I haven't written much about Phonaris yet, but Phonaris is the god of choice, apathy, and chaos, right? I might change what they're the gods of, but basically one is the god of freedom and anarchy, one is the god of order and control. And then I have a third god, that is the god of the Ferdiners, right? Which is Natahalom. Natahalom. I think that's how I would pronounce it. Natahalom is the god of peace, empathy, and freedom. This is the god of the Furtheners and is one of the few pieces of the history that has persisted with those who arrived in No Magic City generations ago. So one of the few things the Furtheners are going to know about is a little bit about the religion that would have been spread down, which is Natahalom, their god of peace, empathy, and freedom. So it's sort of like a mixture of the two. It's more of a god of peace, right? A god of order, a god of choice, and a god of peace. So the people within the city are going to obviously, they want order, they want control, they want safety within their walls. And the people that are out here they want freedom, they want choice. They want to be able to choose how they live and what they live with. The automatons and the mutants of this world are not seen as equals. Mutants are just inherently seen as worse people, right? A mutant can still live, but it's going to be worse for them. An automaton is not a person in the eyes of No Magic City. The fact that they are conscious sapient beings is not a known thing to the world. They are completely alive in that sense. They have essentially a soul for reasons based on how they're made. But that is not known or believed, even if it is known, If it is known in any capacity, it is seen as a lie, as is impossible to the people of No Magic City, the general populace at least. Assumedly, because of how these things work, most of the cast are going to be those characters that are like, no, I believe they are people, right? Which is valid because that's how people want to roleplay their characters, and it makes sense. So those characters will be the outliers in the setting, though. It might be like, if every cast member is like that, just assume everyone else off screen isn't, right? They're like, I believe you're people just as much as everybody else. There's for every person that's like that, assume there's 10 people back in the back being like, what the fuck? No, they're not. That's a toaster. That's my servant bot. It doesn't have feelings. It's not alive. When in reality, they do have feelings. They are alive. And they if an automaton is found to be like, so there's a state of awakening, right, for an automaton in this setting, where normally an automaton is subservient. They work, they do their jobs, and then they just do their jobs. That's it. There's no and then, actually. It's just they do their job. They do whatever they're assigned to do, whatever they are made to do, right? Within the world, though, there is an awakening process where, to the people of No Magic City, they just see it as a malfunctioning bot that is potentially dangerous, right? It stops following its orders. It starts acting erratically, right? They say it's hysterical and crazy, when in reality, it is just the bot suddenly, the automaton suddenly being capable of making its own choices, gaining sapience, unlocking sapience that is normally locked away. Not intentionally locked away, but it is locked away. And if an automaton, I should say, becomes sapient, they either need to hide it or they need to run. Because if they're discovered to be sapient, they're discovered to be awakened, they are decommissioned. Their shard is destroyed. The thing that powers them, which is their soul. Like in Detroit Become Human, yeah. That same sort of gimmick, like in Detroit Become Human, like in iRobot, like in that's all those settings, because I love that concept. Once their shard is destroyed, they're dead. It doesn't matter what goes in the shell next. It's a different bot. It's a different automaton. I think for safety precautions, they would destroy the shell too, though, just in case. Because the people here, they don't really understand how these automatons work. They assume that they have some guy that makes them in the back, and he knows all the ins and outs, but most people don't know how it works, so they just be like, well, this one was acting erratically. I don't want to risk it again. Just destroy the whole thing, and I'll get a new one. So it's really, you gotta fucking hide that shit if you wake up. I think automaton roleplay in this RP could be very fun for people. Because you would either need to play pure robot by day and then in secret whatever by night. In secret, I'm maybe like, I love the idea of like someone playing an automaton character who by day is just like shop worker, very much active shop worker, whatever. Probably takes some fucking abuse and some like, because people aren't gonna respect them, you know, they're gonna treat them like a machine. Like, you know how people yell at like the AI on like fast food like places now, and they like abuse it. Imagine that, but to a bunch of automaton workers in this world. They're not going to respect it. They're not going to want to deal with automatons. They're going to want to talk to people. So by day, I love the idea of a character. Yeah, they're fucking cooked. By day, dealing with that, and then at night they just go and fucking be a rebel, right? They like dress up, try to look as human as possible, and then just go do rebellion shit. I hope someone plays a character like that, because I think that sounds so fucking fun. There's a couple more races. There's humans, those who survived, thrived, raised, and raised to become the dominators of this earth. Humans come in all shapes and sizes and are the primary race residing within No Magic City, seen as the upper class across most of the world. There's automaton, man-made beings. They are easily recognized by their either completely inhuman metallic appearance or by an uncanny and unsuccessful attempt to replicate humanity. Next up. Oh my god. Mutants. Those whose mutations, through various means, whether intentional or accidental, have made most all but completely unrecognizable from their ancestors and outcast. Either formerly humans who have undergone some sort of process to become genetically altered unnaturally, or those who have gone through generations and have become altered naturally. So any sort of thing that makes you not human, like if you're a cat boy or a cat girl, you're a mutant in this world. I am making the people that want to play Beast Folk play on hard mode essentially in the RP. Which I think is fun. Like, I'll allow it, but you're toggling the difficulty slider in the social aspect. Well, knows Teletons are saving it. I mean, honestly, that's probably what I'm gonna write it as for part of it at least. I've had similar ideas to that, so it'll probably be something similar, but we'll see. I technically have one more race. Because as mentioned, Furthener is Furthener is technically a mutant, right? But I have one more because I'm like, what else could I come up with? So I've also written Plagueborn, a rare mutation that is spread almost like a disease through various physical methods, permanently altering the genetics of the infected. Those infected gain an appetite for raw meats, now unable to digest anything besides that, and can no longer sleep. They visually change too, gaining black sclera, sharper teeth, and a strange black ribbon-like pattern across parts of their skin. This mutation is viewed far worse than any other due to its infectious nature and a false belief it makes those infected hostile and dangerous. Those infected are often discriminated against at every given turn, and as a result, most either end up homeless in the streets of Nomad City, in the slums of Lowville, or they hide their mutation entirely. So essentially vampires. It's not like dangerous enough where they're like, yeah, we got to get rid of you. But it is dangerous enough where it's like, you're not trusted. You might because one person might be like, I can't hire this Plagueborn to work in my shop. I have a cat. He's going to eat my fucking cat. And someone else might have a similar reaction, but more extreme, be like, I can't be around. You might eat me, you know? You might just fucking eat me, dude. I don't feel safe. Yeah, the problem is that you can only eat raw meat after that, right? It's like it's the only thing your body can consume. Anything else, it just won't digest. You're reaching to a counter. Automatons. So actual automatons would be. So here's a fun thing, right? Actual automatons would be human working human like jobs, right? To a degree. They are a robot that is very physically capable of and autonomous. They move on their own. They move and act on their own as long as you give them a command, right? So in that regard, They would be running shops when a person isn't around. They would be working in factories, mostly working in factories, replacing jobs of people. So people would be upset about that, which would be a fun little role play thing. Because again, they're not seeing them as people, so they would essentially see an appliance, a tool taking their job away. However, there are machines such as like a dishwasher, for example, maybe, or like a toaster, or some equivalent of like a cooking appliances, right? Technically, appliances would be powered by the same thing that automatons are powered by. And if you really want to get into it, that might technically mean that appliances are automatons and are therefore alive. But we shouldn't think about that too much yet. That might come up in the roleplay now that I talk about it. That might just be relevant. I don't think anyone would have a pet automaton. I think that would be too far. I guess I could see somebody making like a cat or a dog automaton, but it'd probably be rare. So here's a fun tidbit about how the automatons are made and how their rarity might be affected by this. In this world, there is an item called hearts, or gems to some people. They're called hearts. They are crystals that provide immense power. To wield these crystals is completely illegal in No Magic City because of an event I believe I wrote 100 years ago. 100 years prior, they were outlawed because of a incident, to put it lightly. Somebody wielded one of these crystals to do harm. These crystals give power. These hearts give you power that can do good and bad. And for a while, and when they were discovered, they were used to do good. And then they were used by some people's eyes to do bad. So they were outlawed, and all of them were to be destroyed. However, it was discovered that although they were destroyed, they were shattered. Once shattered, the shards of these crystals still had enough juice in them to not be used to give someone power, but to power devices, to be used as a power source that would do more than be a power source. It would give full self-functioning abilities to certain things like machines, and that is what powers automatons, the shattered hearts. Now, there's very few of these hearts, but let's say you shatter one, you probably get 10 plus machines out of that, I would say. Would be my quick hand answer, my quick hand guess. I had to think about how big I plan on them being, and so there's probably very few of these hearts, maybe like 100 of them in total found, right? Let's say there was 100 found, 100 destroyed, shattered into 10 each. So probably about let's give a guesstimate of 1,000 automatons, give or take a few hundred, or 1,000 machines, I should say overall, including automatons, being powered within No Magic City, if I'm doing my math correctly. I think that would be a fair number. So in this kingdom of several thousands of people, right? Let's assume there's a couple thousand people in this kingdom. I don't know what would be appropriate. Let me look up population of medieval Paris. Okay. 200,000. What do we think is a good population number? The population of medieval London. 80,000 to 100,000 before the Black Death. Okay. Yeah, we can just take like that number. Let's say there's around 80,000 people in this world. There's probably only about a couple. We'll say up to upwards of a couple thousand machines and automatons. Could be more hearts in others, or there could be. I might come up in their RP if they come up. It's probably going to be one of the main focuses of this RP is those hearts. Of this world in general, even besides the roleplay aspect again. I think I'm kind of pooped out on working on the map right now. Just because I'm really tired. I'm trying to think of what else I'd want to do. I could show you guys where I left Stickstone at before I canned that project and said I didn't want to. I might come back to it. I'm talking about it recently. I might come back to it, but I know I have a big list of RP maps to work on now. So I started working on a couple of them. This was a Shadowfell test map. Where I was attempting the fuck with post-processing effects to create like a... Basically all of the lighting is drained. Everything except for orange light is drained because my idea for a Shadowfell roleplay map was that there would be no orange light innately. The only orange light would come in from other people, which I think would be very fun. So all of these lights sort of end up blue. If I turn off the post-processing, you can kind of see the difference. Oh, you can... I also put this here. This is a really good way of showing the colors changing. So that's how it fucks with color. There's no greenery whatsoever. So that part of the spectrum is just completely cut out, which I think is a very cool visual effect. And you can see how it sort of fucks with faces and colors. And all of the fire I was making be a blue tint. But that'd be fun. So it's a work in progress. Maybe Shadowfell sort of test map. I kind of just want to make a generic fantasy world to like get some more practice in using Unity prefabs. Like just Unity prefabs, basically. That's what I was working on. I was doing... I don't know what those are. Another possible one. Another fantasy map. Using a prefab base. I was planning on merging a couple of bases in here, though, but I didn't get to yet. Where are you? There we are. Because I feel like this is a really nice little fantasy home base. If I clean it up a little bit more. And my plan was to implement, there was going to be a church on a hill and some other stuff. And this would just be like the little base layout. Some homes that I could decorate a little bit more, put some more buildings in here, sort of just make this like a fantasy home base map. Let me see what else I got here. I'll pull up Stickstone. Hold on. Stickstone. I've discovered in my favorites, I just have something favorited called One Horse, and it doesn't exist anymore, but I'm not going to get rid of it either because I think it's funny. I don't know which of these is the newest. Hold on. The chosen one, the horse, to be above all horse. SS Manor Evening. Okay. So the lighting is broken on this, I'll say. I never rebaked it because I stopped working on it. But I can still give you guys a glimpse of like where the map was at. Just ignore the broken lighting for now, because again, it's easy to fix. I just need to hit the rebake button, but that takes like a while because it has to bake it. This is where I left the Stickstone map last. I was making some pretty good progress on it. Most of the layout was done. Most of the building was done. This area was still completely unfinished, but I hadn't decided what exactly I was going to put here yet. We go inside. All of this was getting pretty close to done. I had my custom fucking wallpaper I drew and designed. I might reuse for something because I really like it. I was pretty happy with most of this. A lot of it, again, lighting's fucked. A lot of it's unfinished. This is a little rain test I did on the ground here. That's why it's raining. I had some more fun post-processing I did where it sort of like drained the light out of anything that got bright. All these individual rooms that I would have decorated for people. Kitchen. The basement. And go down here. Different little rooms in here. A secondary entrance to the basement I added. That was supposed to be wheelchair accessible, but this would kill you. I would need to adjust this. I'd probably just need to get rid of this entire room and just have it like all ramp to there. Yeah, you fucking go down here. You are not coming back, okay? Yeah, it does feel like a fucking corrupted horror map. Oh yeah, sorry. I should have given some more warning. This is the the secure facility underneath the basement. You know, as you have in your basements, of course. Yeah, my bad. There was going to be a bit of a juxtaposition. That was the plan. Training room. This would have been like the generator. Yeah, the tone shift is so fucking funny. On the outside, it just looks like this. That's fun. There's no backside on this. One of the last decisions I made on this map was that my last plan, at least, was that I really want to take this area here and put an actual fucking, like a railroad Wild West town here. And I wanted to make it so that way, in character, you could walk from here to that town and do town RP if you wanted to leave the manor, right? I might make it a teleport, like halfway down the road, you like teleport and then you appear there just to like make it seamless, but I'm not sure. That'd be a down the line addition because I don't want to lock people into being, oh, we're locked in the academy, we're locked in the manor wall, like grounds 100% of the time. We can't actually get out and do our own level of like agency and roleplay, right? So I'd like to remedy that, but probably down the line. Over here was going to be another a pathway here, basically, that would go scoop da doop da doop, and there's going to be a tower here, which I think would have been fun. These are all different rooms here for people. Big storage room down here filled with like junk. So maybe one day I'll pick back up on this and start working on it again. I just don't know what I'd use it for. I'm kind of thinking I need to focus on, like, I need to just do one VR chat. I really want to do one. So I want to get one map from scratch, or not from scratch, but just, what the hell? When did you get here? Do I even have any more? I've never seen this before. What? There's so many of you. Wait, these benches are supposed to be down here. No, that's actually really weird. It's like it corrupted this part of it. They zeroed out on their positions. That's so weird. Cause yeah, they're supposed to be here. I guess I'll do a little bit of map work on it just to fix this. Yeah, they zeroed out all of their scaling and everything too. That's so odd. I think that's right. Should have done two of them. Yeah, I genuinely have no idea how that happened. All right, well, that'll work. There's something funny. Somebody sits here and then somebody sits directly across, and you just stare at each other. That's how it's set up. Yeah, that was weird. Go in here, you got your own little greenhouse. Pretty nice. Not done. Oh. Part of the song scared me. Oh, I was making bathrooms. The idea is that this would be lined with sinks here. This would be a little storage closet. We have a toilet in each of these. Get your own stall. So if you're in here and you sit down, it's like this, you know. The last one, it was a wheelchair accessible one, so I didn't really know what to do, so I just did this. I feel like this works. Oh, always. Bunch of rooms down here of different sizes and variations. This one has a doorway between these two, so it'd probably be like 2 classrooms. This is the long room. Probably, I don't know what I'd put in there. I might just split that later down the line. This one has 2 doorways in and out of it. Staircase that goes up. This goes nowhere. Oh, yeah, another problem that I remember that I missed. And that's kind of where I'm leaving it, honestly. What was I gonna say before? I'm just gonna do like one map, I think, at the end of the day. Because I need to figure out actual life shit. And my goal is to get a resume together of a bunch of from scratch stuff I've done. And then get a 3D modeling job at a company for either animation or for game development of some sort. I'm not sure which. That is my current goal. Because I don't expect to be able to make bank on Twitch. And I need to be able to make enough to live on. So I'm hoping that I will be able to get a proper 3D modeling position at a company at some point in the future once I have a resume together. Thank you. We'll see how it goes. I work much better when I have a deadline to get something done and I have reference to work on. If I could just have a job where they'd be like, "Hey, make me this," and they send me a picture and they say I need it by this time, I think I would be very successful at that. I don't really like having it be too freeform because then I just don't work. I just can't. It's hard to make myself. Having more strict deadlines and stuff is very helpful, I've learned. So hopefully I can get a job like that. I do think I'm going to call it here on the map work, though. That's still... There we go. Yeah, I still have my audio on. Making sure. Because I am really fucking tired because my sleep has been fucked. And I woke up early today. I think I slept a pretty long time. I mean, for the most part. I slept pretty good. I didn't get really a lot done on map work today, sadly, but at least I worked on it a little bit. I will work on it more later, I think. Let's see. How are we? What do I do now? What should I do now, chat? All right. What's next on the agenda, do we think? Yeah, I'm tired, man. What can I... Let's see. Oh, my computer is chugging. There we go. Yeah, I think... That's not like something I'm doing, clearly. I'm trying to think if there's any other sort of dev work I need to get done right now, or any sort of 3D modeling I want to get done right now. As my PC tries to obliterate itself. There we go. I think it was fucking Chrome.